Venerable Atisha's accomplishments in India have now been covered. You can see that these accomplishments focused on organizing the scriptures, promoting the Vinaya, and explaining its meaning clearly. When the Buddha is no longer in the world, the precepts serve as the teacher. But someone must teach the precepts. Without someone to teach them, how can one receive them? Now we look at Venerable Atisha's accomplishments in Tibet. The renounced royalty uncle and nephew refers to the kings of Ali region. The uncle is known as Yeseong and the nephew is Tsongkhapa. They were highly praised by the Tibetans. But why did they receive such an honor? Because one after another, the uncle and nephew were extremely diligent and earnest. They persistently and respectfully sent emissaries to India to invite Venerable Atisha. When they failed to invite him directly, they sent the translator Nakso to India to request him. It was through these efforts that Atisha finally came to Tibet. This journey to Tibet was extremely difficult. If you have time, please read the biography of Venerable Atisha. By the time Tsongkhapa took action, his uncle had already been killed by bandits. At that time, he refused to ransom him with gold, and thus his uncle was captured and killed. Then Tsongkhapa sent translator Nakso to invite Atisha. Atisha was initially unwilling to come because he was highly renowned in India. Everyone regarded him as foremost, and India did not want to let him go. The emissaries told Atisha, "King Yeseo gave his life for you. If you do not come, it would show a lack of compassion." Hearing this, Atisha was deeply moved and became firmly resolved to go. Based on these causes and conditions, after Tsongkhapa asked 7 questions, Atisha arranged them into a sequential path of practice. From this, he composed the lamp for the path to enlightenment, distilling the essence of the sutras and tantras into a clear and structured guide. Originally, Atisha had agreed to stay in Tibet for only 3 years before returning to India. However, when the time came to return, war had broken out on the border between Tibet and India, making it impossible for him to go back. When Atisha's treatise was brought back to India, the masters who read it were amazed. They agreed it was best for him to remain in Tibet, since otherwise such a work would not have existed. As a result, they no longer urged him to return. Moreover, Atisha spent 3 years in Gari, 9 years in Niteng, and 5 years in other parts of Otsang. For 5 years he taught the Dharma of both Sutra and Tantra, explaining their practices and meanings. His oral instructions and explanations of scriptures were extremely thorough. Nothing was left unclear. In total, he stayed for about 17 years. The rituals that remained in fragmentary form were greatly expanded and clarified. Many had been corrupted by wrong interpretations and additions from outside sources, teachings like, "You must practice this or that." Atisha removed these distortions. He purified the sacred teachings from all defilements, explained them clearly, and organized the rituals of practice in a precise and comprehensible manner. With the teachings clearly explained, written, and passed down through a proper lineage, all misunderstandings and wrong views in Tibetan Buddhism were dispelled. This summarizes the great contributions Venerable Atisha made in Tibet.